what is the saddest thing that men do not get? And anybody who like men in here, tell me if I'm bugging. Tell me if you agree. The most attractive thing that a man could do is be quiet. I'm so serious. I'm so serious. You know how much you could pull if you just throw it a key? I want some of your sugar. I want some of your sugar. I want some of your sugar.
Hello, beautiful people. Welcome back to my channel. This is Bownsugar commentating. I'm your girl, Kayla. If you're new here, make sure to subscribe for more videos about Black entertainment, Black womanhood, and whatever else I feel like talking about this week. All right, let's get right into it. So we are day 5 into 2022, and of course, the foolery has already begun, child. The foolery has already begun, and I'm tired. I am tired. Like, apart from Omarion and them and all of the members of B2K running through the streets like a Tomb Raider trying to ruin yet another year, okay, COVID and her lying sisters, we still in this Panda Express for year 3 and it looks like the end is nowhere near in sight. We have another pandemic on our hands, and that is the male podcast industry, okay? If I were to make things, I wanted to make a things we should leave in 2021 video, but of course time got away from me. So, if I were to make such a list, what would be at the very top of that list would be male podcasts. Really, male podcasts, male radio shows, male YouTube channels. And when I say these things, I'm talking about this particular niche of male entertainment that specifies in either humbling Black women, talking down on Black women, being misogynistic, being anti-Black, colorist, all that stuff. That is what I'm talking about. Obviously, I'm not saying that all males don't deserve to have podcasts, YouTube channels, all that stuff. I'm talking about this particular niche of men. Like, when I'm talking YouTube, I'm talking about the Kevin Samuels, the Derek Jacksons, the little boys that like to go to the mall and interview women and ask them what do they rate themselves. Them type of videos, okay? When I'm talking podcasts, I'm talking the what I'm going to mention in a couple of minutes, as well as like a Joe Budden, like all them type dudes that make the podcast, okay? When you see the 4 dudes that are mic type energy, you know exactly what I'm talking about, okay? Or like, I'm talking about radio shows. I'm talking The Breakfast Club. Yup, The Breakfast Club. I can make an entire video about that problematic ass show, but that is a video for yet another day, okay? Today, though, okay, we're going to talk about the fit and fresh and fit, fish and freshman, no, that foolishness that Asian Doll was on the other day. And she ends up getting kicked off the show because one of the hosts was saying she came in late, and there's a clip like circulating the internet of her on the show, and they're going back and forth, and he's clearly visibly upset with her and irritated with her, and she's just joking around. It's like, oh, you're so mean, and he's irritated, and he decides, he's like, well, you can leave. If I'm mean, you can get off my show, blah, blah, blah. And of course, people see this clip and was like, what the hell is this? And him and whatever one of the dudes, I do not care to know none of them niggas' names. So sorry about it. They don't deserve to know what their names are, child. They get enough press as it is. But one of them and Asian Doll have been going back and forth on social media for the past couple of days since that clip has become a thing. And then, of course, because the internet go internet, okay? And they go dig up the files, they found a video from the archives of this show of these 2 dudes talking about the fact that they do not date Black women, okay? They said, and they don't date, what did they say? They're not down with the brown, and like they might date a red bone every now and again, but they're not down with the brown, and they don't do Shaniquas and Shanae and all of that. And I was just like, are y'all dead serious? Like, the woman was too stunned to speak The woman was too stunned. And the woman, I mean me, okay? Because the women in the show were not too stunned to speak. Because I feel like there were some black women there, and there were some non-black women. The non-black woman was key a little bit too loud for my liking. And I'm like, when will y'all learn that when y'all see black men vocally talk about their distrust, disdain, their anger, their preference, because y'all already know when somebody, I feel about that dumb word. But anytime a man vocalizes his preferences, and it is like, especially if he's saying his preference is someone that looks nothing like him, not the same race, not the same complexion, and they're just so 10 toes down with it, that's not a compliment to you. Like, anytime, and like, even like, look at Sin Santana or even Danny Lay, like, they was sitting there delighting the fact that these black men that they dated, Joe Budden and the baby, did not prefer black women, or they were giving them all the praise because they were not black. Look how they treat you. So are you dumb or you stupid? Like, these men are just downright misogynistic. And I mean, we're not losing with these two dudes not liking black women. I mean, someone referred to them as the land before time looking niggas, and I died because I was like, exactly, it's getting very much dinosaur. Like, please, we're not checking for you, babes. And I mean, most of the time, it's always some ugly man that's trying to humble us or trying to talk about he don't want us good. We don't want you. We don't want you either. But it's just truly unfortunate that Asian Doll had to go through that. Like, I know we have mixed feelings about Miss Asian Doll. She's a very pretty girl. I mean, she do be having some ignorant takes at times, but the way that she was treated on that podcast was nothing short of colorism and misogynoir. Like, if you were so irritated at the fact of her being late, you should just told her to leave from jump. Like, don't be nasty. Because like I said, it's not like she was being argumentative towards you. Like I said, looking at her body language, and even like she was visibly smiling when she's talking. It's like she's not trying to be mean. Like, you dead just have this static towards her from the moment she started talking, and you were looking for a reason to kick her off. But like I said, if you were so irritated about her being late, you would have never had her on the show, but you knew what the hell you were doing because you wanted clicks and engagements, and you knew that Asian Doll would bring clicks and engagement, especially if you're being nasty to her, because clearly being nasty to black women is a trend for y'all. So you thought that was what it was gonna give, and you got your viral moment, babes. You got it, because now I've been waiting to have this conversation for a while, but of course, every time the universe gonna give me some for me to come to y'all and we can sit down together and discuss this now, okay? Because there's a much larger conversation at hand there, okay? Because this is nothing new. Like, this is not what's happened to Asian Doll. This whole thing is not new. I told you, every time I see 4 or 5 niggas with a mic and a clip circulates, I already know some foolishness will go on. Like, I already know I'm about to witness something stupid. Like, some type of misogynoir, some colorism, some something, okay? I think the only time I seen a clip of some dudes with a mic and they were talking in a podcast setting, and it wasn't ignorant with these 4 guys, and they were talking about their favorite hairstyles on black women. That was the most wholesome thing I ever seen. But it's the way that all of us were probably clutching our pearls when we saw them 4 dudes with a mic. We probably like, all right, what they talking about now? What they doing now? Because I promise you, every single time, it's like, and a side note, how they had this show called Fit and Fresh, and we ain't talking about fitness. It seemed like, because there's several clips of this show, this podcast that went around, and every one of them is about dating. Why is this show called Fit and Fresh? And looking at the two of y'all, none of y'all look fit nor fresh. So what's the giving? What is the giving? Like, what kind of game you playing here? Neither here nor there. Just had to ask. You know, I had a question. I know how your girls like to tussle, okay? I swear I only speak in TikToks nowadays. Lord help me. Okay, but every time there is a male podcast, it is the same old topics, especially when it comes to dating and gender relations, okay? Every time it's the $20 dates, it's the what do women bring to the table, it's the colorism conversations, it's the gender roles conversations, and none of them are nuanced, none of them are interesting, none of them are giving, because these men do not have the freaking range, okay? All of them are just interested in pushing their own misogynistic agenda, and it makes you ask the question, do y'all even like black women at all? Do y'all even really like women at all? Because it's like the stupidest thing y'all complain about. Like, I swear, if I see one more conversation about women be using men for like free meals. What meals? Because y'all not taking these girls to Benihana's. Y'all not taking these girls to freaking Ruth Chris, okay? Y'all taking the girls to Applebee's. Now, why would I have to scan for a 2 for $20? Ask yourself that the next time you want to ask some stupid question like that. Or ask about, is a $20 date a date? Ask yourself that. Ask yourself. Or ask yourself the next time you want to ask, what is a woman, what do you bring to the table? Because y'all swear because y'all got a little full-time job at the local Costco that you doing something. And that's not to shame folks that work at the Costco. I'm talking about these particular brand of men that swear because they got their first little full-time job, they got a little piece of change, that every woman is out here trying to get at them. And it's like, babes, nobody wants you. No, what y'all be doing is, especially if y'all live in like a place like an Atlanta, a Houston, LA, or New York, y'all will target a certain type of woman. Women that are very vocal on the type of men that they want. And they are all fine. Everybody's right. Let's tell y'all right to y'all preferences. These women are right to have their preferences. So if their preferences, if they want a man with some money, then why can't they, right? Especially if they are putting the time and investment into their looks and all that, right? You get mad because they want a ball player. They want a ball player. They want a man that's making more than 6 figures, a NFL player, them type of dudes. You regular Joe Schmo trying to get at her, and you're mad because she has her standards for a man. So then you turn around and say, oh, these women are just using you for your money. No. You have no money. You have no 6 figures. It's not giving 6 figures. It's not giving that. You want to talk about preferences every day of the week when it comes to some ignorant foolishness, like somebody's skin tone, they texture, they features, things that people can essentially not help. But a career that you can, obviously get into or whatever, you get mad. Or if a woman sits there and says that she dates a man that makes X amount of money and you're mad at that, why does it upset you? If you don't make the type of money, that's not the girl for you. Move. Because I promise you, there are probably thousands more women that do want you. Like, why y'all, I swear audacity must be like for sale. It must be on for sale. It must be. Because the way y'all be so bold in these podcasts, and these are the subject matters y'all talking about, free dates, even that same dusty little podcast talking about, oh, men, it'd be hard for men to get sex from women or something like that, or it's hard, it's not as easy, as accessible for women. And it's just like, what are you talking about? What the hell are you even talking about? And you got these women sitting there like, yeah, that's true. It's like, blink twice, sweetie, if you need help. It's giving sunken place. Because what the hell are you talking about? What are you even talking about at this point? Like, of course, we could have the conversation about men and casual sex-esque relationships, because you ain't gonna like my answer. You're not gonna like my answer, okay? And it's giving, I swear, men go watch this video and think I don't like men for real. And it's not giving, it's not that. But one thing I'm not gonna do is coddle y'all. I'm not gonna coddle the ignorance at all. But what I'm saying, like, y'all be subscribing to them foolishness and then turn around and it's like, y'all don't like women. Like, just say that. If you don't like women, just say that. It's okay. You know what you could go do? Date men then. Like, and above all else, go to freaking therapy. Like, I say this with all love. Anybody that know me, I am a mental health advocate. I am a therapy advocate. I am a firm believer that all black people should go to therapy, but especially black men. Like, y'all love to weaponize therapy terms, especially like terms that you just hear through social media or your girlfriends that actually do go to therapy, or like just reading self-help books. I think y'all read one self-help book and it's giving you're healed. No, babes. I'm telling you, find you a therapist, a good one. Because you need to go and figure out what is this hatred that you have towards black women. Why do you have this need to humble them? Why do you have this need to put them down a peg every time you get some type of bit of something? What is that about? Because it's not normal, babes. It's not normal. It's not giving. You need to figure it out. If you claim to love black women, if you even claim to like black women, you need to figure out why is it every time you and your homeboys get together, y'all have the need to try to bring us down every time. That's not love. What love is that? What type of love is that? Because men don't want it. I don't want it. And I'm sure every woman around, like every black woman, like, and it's crazy because y'all be the same ones. 2 years ago, it was Breonna Taylor. It was all protect black women, quoting Malcolm X, talking about the black woman is the most disrespected and neglected. And the craziest thing was after Breonna Taylor's murderers were found not guilty, right? And everybody was heartbroken and upset about that. And y'all was all talking about, we gotta do better, we gotta protect black women. Then the whole Meg Thee Stallion situation happened, and this woman literally came out and said, "This man shot me." Y'all were like, "Well, let's see what is given in court. Let me get the full facts." Excuse me? Why is it always protect black women when they 6 feet under and they don't need protection no more? Why is that? But on the daily, when it is your mama, your sister, your cousin, your friends, it's always this nastiness. Why? And it's like, y'all can make podcasts about anything. You can make podcasts about sports. You can make podcasts about some books. You can make podcasts about building some stuff, okay? A HGTV type of vibe, how to install a wall unit or something. You can make a podcast about food. You can make a podcast about traveling. You can make a podcast about them Bitcoin and all that and craft type of do. Make a podcast about that. I can name you 11 different topics you can make a podcast about. Yet every single time y'all come and y'all find, as I say, y'all get your 4 homeboys together. Y'all be having your boys' night out and y'all like, you know what we should do? Y'all be having your stupid takes. We said, let's take this stupid takes to the internet. Let's go get a mic and some ring lights and go spew our ignorance to everybody can hear it. Like, it's not given. If you are a man right now and you think you and your guy should start a podcast, don't. Do not. Especially when the majority of your conversations is going to be about women. Because I promise you, you don't have the range, sweetheart. You do not have the range. Especially if you are a man who has never really been in a healthy, like, monogamous relationship. Even if it was a healthy polyamorous relationship. If you've never had a healthy relationship or just healthy morale with women, I suggest you not. Especially if you haven't been to nobody's therapy. Period. Okay, because then you got, or it's like the dudes that love to humble women, like they love to invite like an Asian doll or anybody on their thing for clicks and views. Y'all are being nasty for engagement, and you don't think that's not weird? You don't think that's not okay? Like, you got the Joe Buddens of the world. Oh, that incel child. I don't care what you say to me. And men eat that up. He's probably one of the most, I don't know if it's still the case since his whole whatever with the people that was on his show. But he was at one point the most popular, like, the most popular podcaster at one point. And he was full of ignorance. Like, full of it. And it's just like, what is really going on here? Like, what is happening? What simulation are we in? Can I leave now? I don't want no parts. And when it's not the ignorant freaking podcast, it's the freaking YouTuber dudes who either A are Kevin Samuels, who gets a complete rise out of humbling black women and trying to knock them down a peg. And yeah, I know he does the same to black men, but it feels a vast majority of his audience is women because his whole thing is having to help them obtain a high value man, whatever the hell that means. And like, remember that clip that circulated where he was talking about the woman was average at best? Like, who gives you the right? Because you ain't even a solid 3 on a good day, babes. Like, what are you talking about? Who gave this man a platform? I would love to know. But, you know, he's there tearing women down left and right. Or you got this Derek Jackson's who's particularly just sit there and tell women how to get a man. Meanwhile, he's over there cheating on his wife. And then they got to come on and she there looking like who did it and why. and whatever. I think they even got a divorce or something recently. Like, after all of that, honey. Thank God my sister's free, though. But you got those, or like the dudes that be going to the boardwalks, going to the malls, going on the street, finding black women and asking them what did they rate themselves, and then be sitting there being rude when they say they rate themselves highly. Like, what did you expect them to say, a 2? Like, you see how you already knew where your motives were at, like, especially when the ones that purposefully target, like, dark-skinned women or plus-size women, like, you know what the hell you're doing. Like, you know what the hell you're doing. And I just love it every time. Like, there was one with this one woman, and she was like, she rated herself a 12, and she was like, you could, and he's like, oh, could I take you out or something? And she was like, you couldn't even do your best there, or something like that. And I said, nah, I know that's right. I know that's right. Because you knew exactly what the hell you were doing, trying to bother this lady. And when it's not that, I remember there was like this one YouTube video, and it was these dudes, and they had the women like lined up and talk about smasher, pass, and rate. I'm like, number one, what year are we in? And number two, what the hell is going on here? Like, why do y'all feel like I said, y'all would sit there and make black women look so bad for some clicks and some views? Like, are you okay? Did your mama hurt you that bad? Like, what is this? And I can't speak for men of other races because I don't be paying attention to them like that. I can only speak for my own community. But I continuously keep seeing it when it comes to this black, like I said, when it comes to just entertainment. Because even if we talk about the Breakfast Club, child, like, yes, Angela Yee is technically like the female presence on that show, but the amount of times that DJ Envy and Charlamagne has said some very questionable things, some anti-black things, some misogynistic things, like, and it has gone completely unchecked, is ridiculous. Like, even recently, there was a clip surfacing of Charlamagne talking about Mariah Carey's butt when she was very much married, and he's very much married. And even if she wasn't married, why do you feel so comfortable talking about this woman's ass? Like, you don't know this woman like that to be doing that. And that's just, even if you did, why? Why? And there's like I feel there's a compilation clip somewhere out there with Charlamagne staring at random female guests' boobs. Like, hello? But this supposed to be our mental health king? That's what I'm talking about. These men will either go to therapy and not get anything out of it, or they won't go and they'll use what they hear throughout social media, or even if, like I said, if their girlfriend go to therapy and then try to weaponize it then to say some ignorant stuff thinking they sound deep. And it's like, no, babe, you need to go back to the drawing board and go back to therapy and truly go to therapy. Because like I said, Charlamagne out here even interviewing Kamala Harris, child. Like, after all the ignorant foolishness. And I'll never forget a time when Amara and Lynette girl went on there and they tried to gaslight the hell out of her talking about colorism wasn't real. I'm like, y'all are from New York, babes. You've definitely seen colorism before. Please. Let's not be stupid. Like, the way of New York and the boroughs is very much colorist capital. Please. Please. Anywho. But that's what I'm talking about. And then these men will have the nerve to turn around and talk about they ain't got no safe spaces. What are you talking about? Are these podcasts not y'all safe space? Like, why can you not have safe spaces? Because I'm saying, instead of making podcasts, talking about mutual things that y'all enjoy, talking about brotherhood, talking about being black men, talking about those type of things, like the true conversations that black men should be vulnerable enough with each other to have, you instead want to talk ignorant about black women or bring black women on y'all shows to try to humble them for engagement. And now you have no safe space. So whose fault is that? Because it's not women's. Y'all love to say it's women's fault. It's not our fault. It's yours. So sorry to tell you. I'm telling you, they go think I don't like men. I'm going to tell you, it's not that. But I'm tired. I'm sick and tired of being sick and tired. Like I said, I'm tired of every time I see a clip of 4 black men with a mic, I got to clutch my invisible pearls. Like, what is it about to give? What are they about to talk about? What ignorant? I mean, at this point, I'm going to stop giving y'all engagement because y'all don't deserve it. Because who the hell was checking for that podcast before this happened? I've never heard of it. But then again, I don't watch male podcasts. The only 2 podcasts that I watch that have men in there is one, Mr. Kev on Stage, and Angel called Here's the Thing. If you don't watch it, definitely watch it. It's great, okay? It's a good time. And Kev is a black man who loves his black wife, okay? Like, and Angel is a black woman. So ain't no foolishness going around there. And then you have Damn Internet You Scary with Patrick Cloud and To Hear More, okay? And they're friends of Kev, and that's the way I found out about them. And they be talking about crazy things that they see on the internet. See, that I don't have a problem with. And Tahir is also married to a black woman. So occasionally they'll talk about dating stuff, but for the most part, they're just talking about funny things or interesting things they find on the internet or in social media, like, or hot topics in pop culture or something. That's, once again, I have no problem with. But when, like I said, y'all all get together and start talking about topics and all that, like, it never goes anywhere productive. Like, it takes me back to Clubhouse chat. That's how I knew I was really never gonna see it for no damn male podcast. Like, if you are a woman, a black woman, that has ever been in a Clubhouse room between the times of late 2020 to early 2021, you know exactly what I'm talking about. Like, every time black women were having a certain conversation, especially if it was dating or it was just simply just problems and struggles of black women or anything, there was always going to be a man that was going to come into the space, request to be on stage, and then spew some nasty, vile foolishness. Or then start his own thing, talking about having some inflammatory name of the room and just being nasty. And I remember one time there was a room where it was hosted by sex workers, and they were just talking about sex work and all that stuff. And this man infiltrated these women's space, decided to come into space, get on stage, and say something, calling them everything but a child of God. And I think the clip ended up getting viral on Twitter. And I'm just like, see what I'm talking about? Y'all want to sit there and talk about y'all have no freaking safe space. We don't have no safe space either. We truly have no safe space. Because what the hell is the point of that? It's like, if you don't like black women, leave us alone. Don't, like I said, the same thing when talking about the Big Sean conversation. Leave us alone. If you don't want to date us, zip your lip. I don't care. I don't freaking care. And like I said, if you have no nuanced conversation to have about dating and relationships, and like I said, if you truly have not done the work, I suggest you shut the hell up. And I suggest your homeboys shut the hell up as well. Because it never gives. It never gives. And this is really about cishet black men. Like, I can't talk for queer black men or anything like that, because most of the time, when I see queer black men having a conversation, it's never anything ridiculous. Like I said, it's always cishet black men. And it has to stop. It is a new freaking year. Get it the frick together. We got bigger fish to fry. I gotta say that at the end of every freaking conversation. We got bigger things going on. I told you, Amarion and B2K and them, okay, is forming a super group. I done heard that COVID and influenza is teaming up to form a super freaking disease. Like, we got bigger problems. But you want to talk about gender roles and $20 dates. Like, leave black women alone. Leave us alone. I don't get it. Like, it's tiring, bro. Like, get some other things to do. Like, nobody cares about your stupid preferences. Zip it up. I'm tired, child. I'm really tired, but that's all I gotta say about that, child. Y'all let me know all your thoughts, your opinions, all that good stuff in the comments. But if you gonna be trying to coddle men in this foolishness or try to make justifications, this is not the video for you. I mean, you should have known that. You didn't watch this far. But you already know I'm gonna block that ass, and I would definitely disable the comments if it gets out of hand. But thank y'all so much for watching, and I will definitely see y'all in my next video. Peace out, y'all.